Welcome back to my channel, Amazing Fashionistas. So on today's episode of Get It Right from the Scratch with Amy, I'm going to be showing you the tools needed in pattern making. So these are basic tools. If you have one of them, you can always do well to work with them. So now let's get into it. So here is the pattern paper. I always recommend a white pattern maker. You can always use any one you want, but for the purpose of teaching, I always prefer white, and I encourage my students to also use white. So because it will clearly show whatever you are writing on it. So the next thing is the pencils. Here, because I'm teaching, I always prefer this M&G pencil because it is bright, it is clear and sharp. So, but you can use any kind of pencil that you have, but I just like these pencils and I love because they are clear for me to show my students. Another thing is the glue stick. For this, you can always use a sellotape, you can use a paper sellotape, but I just like this glue stick because it is neat and it is sticky and nice for me. The glue stick is very good because it will not leave any stain on your papers, and you can use a sellotape, a paper sellotape, or any kind of sellotape just to glue papers together, to close your darts, or to just close down anything. But just know that in pattern drafting, we always need a glue or a sellotape. So to erase our pencils, we need an eraser. We need a clear eraser to clean out mistakes. So I always advise that as a beginner in pattern drafting, you need to use pencil so that in case you make mistakes, you can always erase the mistakes. Next, we have the almighty tracing wheel. This is a very important tool in pattern drafting. It is small but mighty. It is used to transfer markings, to transfer darts from another pattern face to the other side, or to transfer from your pattern to your fabric. It is just majorly used to transfer markings. It makes the work easier. So by the time you put it on the paper, it's going to leave some markings like a line, so you can always use it to trace out. So it just makes pattern making easier. By the time you start drafting, you're going to understand. So this is a marker, so you just majorly use to highlight some certain positions, but please note that you have to use a pencil to draft. But if you just want to highlight, for instance, now that I'm teaching, I can use a marker pen to highlight. So this is a chalk, a tailor's chalk. It is majorly used to transfer our patterns to fabric. So here we have our scissors. The scissors here, we have two scissors. It is always advisable to use one scissors for fabric and one scissors for the paper, so that the scissors will not go blunt easily. So that is why you need two scissors, one for paper and one for patterns. And of course, we need our tape rule, our tape measure, our tape. Yes, we need this. This is a 1/16-inch tape. We need it to measure. So now let's get to the rulers. So all these are rulers, but we have a curved ruler and a straight ruler. So here is a long ruler. This, for instance, now is a French curve. This is used for the armhole. You can use it for the neckline or any curve part on your pattern that is not too long. So this curve is suitable for it. So that is the French curve, and it is very, very multi-purpose. So next we have our ruler. So this is our ruler. A fashion designer's ruler always have diagonal lines. Can you see from this video now? There's a line now diagonally, or we can call it 45 degrees. It is important. We need it. You can also use it to transfer your patterns to fabric and so on. But as a fashion designer and a pattern drafter, we need this long ruler. So next, we have the multi-purpose curve. So this multi-purpose curve can also play the role of the French curve. That is that small curve that we saw. We can use it for the armhole, we can use it for the hip curve, we can use it for any curved part. Just know how to position the curves very well. So that is going to help us achieve the best result. So this is the multi-purpose curve. And next, this is also a multi-purpose curve. As you can see, it has a ruler and it also has a curve. So for beginners or for starters, I always advise, if you can get this, you can get it, because it can serve you for a ruler and for a curve. So please do well to just get anyone that you can. Even if it is just straight ruler and that multi-purpose curve, it's fine. You can always start with that. If it is a ruler with the French curve, you can always start with that. But you need the tracing wheel, the scissors, and your glue. It can be a sellotape or anything. So that is that about the tools needed in pattern drafting. So thank you very much for joining me. Let's get to the drafting. So these are the basic important tools you need to kickstart your pattern making journey. So I wish you all the best. So now we're going to be drafting a basic block front and back. I'm going to be introducing you to pattern making full time in my next post. If you find this tutorial helpful, do well to like, comment and share, and turn on your notification so you'll get notified once the next video is dropped, and it's going to be dropped soon. And if you're watching after a long time, just go to the next post and you will watch the full tutorial there.